Okay, I'm back with another video. So I'm trying to do a couple of videos today so I can get caught up on these. I got a question about undergraduate majors for law school. And I just want to let you know my personal opinion. I'm an academic advisor, so I advise undergraduate students. That's my full-time job. And I don't mean any harm when I say this, and this is my personal experience. This is my personal belief. And I have actually seen this on law school websites. You can get into law school with any bachelor's, okay? People that think, oh, English is going to make me a better candidate. Not necessarily. I mean, English is good, or journalism. Law school is unlike anything else, really. So when you get into whatever major you had, it didn't really help. It's not going to help you. It's not going to give you some kind of magical leg up on law school. The English might help you with writing because you'll know where to use a semicolon and a comma properly. But lots of us get through just fine not knowing that. And actually, I'll tell you, my LRW, Legal Research and Writing professor, actually said, just don't use the semicolons, please, because I don't really know how to use them, and then I got to look it up. And so don't, like, if you're like, should I do English or should I do journalism because I want to go to law school, you are like really spinning your wheels on something that's not that detrimental. Now, I will tell you, let's say it comes down to you and another person, and you've got all A's, and you had this English degree, and they have a 3.5, and they had this business, administration, Bachelor of Science. They might get picked over you if you're like neck and neck. And the reason why is because they do look at the rigor of your program when it comes down to decisions like that. But most of the time when you get into law school, they want to see your GPA and your LSAT. Those are the two things that are going to be the boosters. Your personal statement is, something that's good. And people ask me about that. And I mentioned before, they want to hear a story. So it's all about storytelling. Tell them a story. What was that profound moment in your life that made you say, I need to go to law school. This is what I want to do. And try not to make it like, I saw my uncle walk up with the Benz and I thought, he's a lawyer. I need to go to law school to get that. No, that's not profound. So try to make it a profound story that just kind of tugs at your little heartstrings. I also want to answer a question about what's homework in law school. Homework in law school is not do these questions. Homework in law school is just keeping up with the readings. So theoretically, you could do nothing the entire semester of law school. That's fine. You're behind on your readings. When you get called in class, your answer is, I don't know. That's fine. Go through life like that, if that's what you choose to do. But when it's time to study and you only have 1 to 2 weeks to study for a final that is the only grade for the class, good luck, because you didn't pay attention the entire time. So keep that in mind. I've had classes where homework is like, I had one class where a professor gave us like 10 questions, and I was just like, this is really... And actually that class, it turned out to be, it just was not helpful. Like the people that took the class with another professor that actually focused on more important substantive law, they learned a lot more than I came out learning. My whole theory on law school and education in general is I just want to learn, man. I don't really care about my grade. Clearly I don't want to fail or get a low grade, but I am not vying for the A's. I really want to get the education. That's really what I care about. So I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm going to study, but I'm really trying to get what you're saying and get the big picture and understand it and then be able to apply it. So I'm not a huge advocate for grades if you're really big on that. So that's the answer for what's homework in law school. There is none, really. It's just... You have to be self-disciplined. At this point, if you're in law school, grow up and, do what you got to do. Some people have, said before, law school was the worst time in my life. And I used to say, I don't know why. It's not terrible, but it's not the best either. But it's not like, a nightmare. I feel like when people say that, they discourage other people from wanting to go. And maybe that's to weed it out so that we don't have an oversaturation of lawyers. By the way, that little statement, we have an oversaturation of lawyers, but we don't have an oversaturation of good lawyers. Let's remember that. Anyway, so I feel like when the idea of it was a terrible time in law school, discouraging people. I kind of understand what they're saying now that I'm in my third year. These last 3 years have been some very trying times. Not necessarily because I'm in law school. I was engaged and I ended my engagement. I have been going through school and work at the same time. There are days and times when everybody is doing something, like my family is visiting me and I literally have to go away and just sit in a room and study for 8 hours. Or it's a really nice day and everybody is having a good time. Or after church, that's the worst. When everybody is hanging out after church, or they go to brunch and then they're like, oh, let's, go walking at 3 o'clock later or whatever. Just fellowship or something. And you're like, oh, I have to study. You have to be self-disciplined to be in law school. I will say that. It's very, you have to have a grasp on time management. So it can be very, very difficult in that regard because you feel like you miss a lot. I had a person, a classmate once tell me if she had to do it all over again because of, some other factors, she wouldn't. And I was like, wow, I've never heard that from somebody who went to law school. But her reason was she already worked in a law firm. She is just going to now be a lawyer, but she's going to stay in that same law firm. And on top of that, her kid is 7 and she has missed, she's been in law school for 4.5 years because she's part-time. She missed 4.5 years of her child's life, she felt like. She wasn't really there. So, different strokes for different folks. But I don't feel like it's been bad. I just feel like it's been very challenging and very developmental for me. I do want to say one more thing. I'm bouncing all over the place, but I'm about to end this. I do want to say one more thing about the majors for law school. Pre-law. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to do pre-law and that's going to get me into law school. Some programs do have pre-law honors, pre-law society, where if you do pre-law, it kind of gives you a shoe-in into their law school. That's a great idea. That's good if you want to go to that law school. But pre-law, just to say I'm going to go to law school, when I signed up for pre-law in undergrad, when I found out it was a certificate and not an undergraduate program, negative. I'm just here to get a bachelor's and this other stuff. I had 2 bachelors. A Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts. So I was not interested in getting a certificate to say you completed so many pre-law courses. You do get to do like some classes like trial advocacy or LRW, like a smaller version. But let me tell you, and I think I've said this before, I have classmates who have been paralegals for years, and they have to take a lot of the first year classes that we have to take. But that did not help them. They didn't get excused from taking those classes. They had to go through the same program and take those classes again, just like I did. They have the same trouble with LRW and understanding how to write and being frustrated with trying to learn this whole new way of writing, just like I did. There is nothing that concretely prepares you for law school until you just get in it, really. So please don't stress yourself trying to get this program fit into these 4 years for a bachelor's when it's not going to help you be able to write better or be like, well, I already have a draft from pre-law class, so I'll just, no, it's really not. So I just kind of want to put that notion out there that is my opinion, and that is my experience with people that have been in my class. But I kind of look naked, just so you know. I have a dress on, but that's been my experience, and that's personally what I think about that. So Good luck. If you have any questions about your major or, getting into law school, I talked a little bit about it in my first couple of videos, but just let me know. Leave questions or comments in the comment box below, and I'll be sure to answer. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful.